Boy, Andy, I'll tell you,
Yeah.
it is hot and it is not letting go.
It is hot. It is hot.
National heat wave.
Yeah.
This weekend again in Great Falls, I think it was 112-ish on Saturday, and then it shot up to 218 on Sunday.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it was really warm here. We have a heat wave all over the nation.
Mm-hmm.
People need to keep cool, keep their dogs, keep their pets cool.
Yeah, keep their cool. Did you get the numbers that we left on those poll results?
I did get the numbers.
Yeah.
They were not surprising to me. The numbers we're talking about is that most recent Gallup poll has a 21% disapproval or approval rating of the mainstream media of the United States, which means like only 21 out of 100 people, only 21% think that the mainstream media is a good thing. And to those 21% who like and trust mainstream media, boy, I'm telling you, man, mainstream media. Do you know who the usual suspects are? Do you? It all started. Let me give you a background. It all started with Ted Turner and TBS. Do you remember that? Back in the early 90s, everybody's, oh, I'm a Braves fan. I love the Braves. You go Atlanta. Everybody's a Braves fan. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Hockey champion. I'm a Braves fan. I'm a Braves fan. Everybody's a Braves fan. Even Snoop was a Braves fan. Okay? Ted Turner ruined everything because then news became 24 hours a day, which means, Andy, if you and I are working for a news, we got to come up with, we got stories, we got good stories, we got bullshit stories. And that is what mainstream media is. Started with Ted Turner, TBS, and it blossomed. Oh boy. Mainstream media is media watched by mass marketing. In other words, cable news networks, 24-hour news sources, mainstream antenna news sources. The usual suspects, you all know them. You all know them. And only 21% of you approve of them. Well, let's name a few. We already named TBS. How about CNN? ABC? NBC, CBS, Fox, Breitbart, MSNBC, WXA 49er? Who knows what that's channel? Any cable news network. Most of the people that I just named have made a designation change in their broadcasting platform. In other words, we broadcast as a podcast, an opinion podcast. In other words, you can't sue me for libel if my opinion is you suck dog dinkles because you left your pets out in the weather. However, news people can be sued for reporting news and saying it's fact. Well, CNN, Fox, ABC, MSNBC, Breitbart, ABC, ESPN have all changed designations. No longer are they classified as a news source. They are classified as an entertainment source. Therefore, removing libel and allowing the ability to have a broadcast that is more opinion than it is fact. So the mainstream media says that we trust 21% of them yahoos, and we don't. What the hell are you guys thinking? That 21%? Well, trusting you trust Nora O'Donnell, George Stephanopoulos, Sean Hannity, Tucker Carlson, I'll tell you what, they are no Walter Cronkite. Cronkite. Remember Walter? Andy? Cronkite.
I do remember.
Cronkite. Walter and that's the way it is. Yeah, they're all opinion pieces. Now, some of these conglomerates are even bigger conglomerates. Fox News, for instance, is also Fox Sports, which also is an entertainment clause. And you might say, well, that makes sense because they're, cover football and baseball and it's entertainment. No, it's entertainment because it allows Joe Buck and Troy Aikman to say on a broadcast that so-and-so is a wife beater or so-and-so is a steroid user, and they don't get sued because it's an entertainment piece. However, the worst offenders, I know. You can say Pipewrench, geez, you named CNN for Christ's sakes, Norah O'Donnell and CBS. You drop Tucker and Fox into the mix. How can it get any worse? 4 initials for you. ESPN. You know who owns ESPN? Disney. You know who owns Disney?
China.
Chinese interests, Chinese conglomerates. ESPN, Disney, ABC are all in cahoots. It's one big mass marketed. Okay? So, what pisses me off most about ESPN is, first of all, it's biased. Extremely biased. They don't report news, they report opinions. I can't get my sports from ESPN. So, when you go to cut cable, you think, well, geez, ESPN has an app. I will cut cable. Screw you, cable. I'm getting ESPN on my app. Not so fast, cowboys, cowgirls. ESPN has to deal with the cable company. You cannot cut the cable, pay for the ESPN app, and then have ESPN cableless. You have to subscribe. As soon, and they don't tell you this. They tell you, yeah, you can subscribe to us, pay us money, and you can have, So what have they done? I'm going to take college football. I love college football. Anybody who watches me, I'm going to go blue. Okay? Summer camps are in force. ESPN, Disney, ABC, all the same people, owned by conglomerates and over China. But Hunter has something to do with ESPN, pissing me off. They decided during the football bowl season and the national championship that they're going to air this only on ESPN. So if I've cut cable, which I have, Fire Sticks, streaming, who the hell needs cable? Well, you need cable, Pipewrench, because you can't watch ESPN with brunch. All the bowl games, national championship, college, everything. ESPN. Can't get an app, can't watch it on ABC, can't pirate it. So my choices are go to a bar, hang around with a bunch of drunks, watch the game, or not watch the game. So, the usual specs, they take everything. The CNN, the ABCs, the ESPNs, the Foxes, the Wolves. We just spent watching prime time all last week on the goddamn January 6th hearings. They even had a midnight special, Andy, didn't they?
Yeah, it was
Dr. Hook, Elvin Bishop.
Elvin Bishop.
Elvin Bishop played with midnight special with the Trump hearings, and Liz Cheney sang lead. My opinion, it's a no-brainer. We didn't have to have a hearing on January 6th. The news media said we do. We didn't have to. Let me explain. Most of you that know me know that I have been raised elsewhere than Great Falls. I've lived in Missoula. I've lived in Detroit. I've lived in Lincoln, Nebraska. I've traveled all over the country. I'm a product of the 60s and 70s. I remember the Chicago 7, Abby Hoffman, Jerry Rubin. I remember the Black Panthers and Stokey Carmichael, Eldridge Cleaver. I remember the Hunter Thompson eras. Okay? In my opinion, this is a no-brainer. I know a freaking riot when I see one. Okay? I was in the 68 riots in Detroit. I lived in Detroit. Okay? In San Francisco in 76, I was there at Golden Gate Park. Okay? I've marched on ROTC centers during the Vietnam War protests. I've seen riots really, really up close. I know when someone's egging me on. I know when someone's egging everybody else on. We're not going to go into the particulars. That would take a whole damn show. The media has more than divided us on that. We have no broadcast, some broadcast, a left broadcast. To me, you're hearing my opinion. It's a no-brainer. He stood up there, and I'm talking about the former presidents, and he said, we will stop the steal. We will never give up. We will fight like hell. If I was there and I was kind of hopped up, I'd be flipping out too. Like I said, I saw it. I watched it on TV. Some of you might not agree with it. Some of you agree. I don't care either which way. It's my opinion. I watched TV. I watched it the day it happened. I watched them talking. I'm like, holy shit, dude. What are you saying? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you, nuts? I'm just sending them out to the Capitol to have brunch. And if you think the mainstream media does it, hearings are a good example. Shootings are a good example. We're hearing all sorts of news. Social media and media just kind of walk hand in hand. They do the same thing. The media and social media is only serving one purpose right now that I can see, and that is to divide and conquer. Trust me, divide and conquer. Am I wrong? If you're a left person or if you're a right person or a red or a blue or whatever, in this corner weighing in at the 198, the heavyweight champion, whatever corner you're in, your goal is not compromise. Your goal is not to get along, not to reach middle ground. Your goal is to screw your opponent. Fuck them. Am I right? I am. Have you been on Facebook lately? Instagram? Have you watched the local news? Have you watched Nora O'Donnell and her syrupy, sickening, sweet, oh, we're going to all do como vaya. Turn the channel, you got Tucker Carlson. Divide and conquer. Facebook is a prime example. I can post on my Facebook feed something about dogs, and y'all that follow me, that dogs are a big thing. Invariably, did I say invariably?
Close.
Close. Someone.
You almost said it.
Almost got it. Damn it, missed it. Someone's going to post something about Biden, Hunter, Trump, Hillary. It's like, what the goddamn did you get that out of whatever? We can't trust each other. Our friends, no, you don't have any friends on social media. If they do, they talk behind your back. Everybody's, you know, you can't trust anybody. The media is horrible. They're horrible. They're horrible. You can't trust the 5 o'clock news. Attention, attention Kmart shoppers. A blue light special on the news aisle is flashing. Do not watch 24-hour news networks or the 5 o'clock news. All right, Pipewrench. Who the fuck should we watch then, Mr. Know-It-All? I'm glad you asked. In my opinion, where I get my news is, first of all, I don't turn on the TV to get it. That's my first, no TVs. Second of all, I don't use an app. So I don't go to a TV network who has an app. I go to certain places that have, like, news feeds. If you've ever worked in television and radio and podcasting, you can get a news source. It comes over the internet. Local radio will know exactly what I'm talking about. I like to get my news from the Associated Press, the United Press, Reuters. I said that kind of French-like, you know, Reuters.
Kind of fancy. We like it fancy.
The BBC. And I put the BBC in there because they don't give a rat's ass about America. And they call it like it is. No buffering, no political agenda. They don't like us. Which most people do in Europe don't, because we're arrogant and full of ourselves. I like C-SPAN. I like C-SPAN because of this simple fact. Everybody's like, C-SPAN's boring. It's boring. They don't do anything. Yeah, they do legislation. They do all sorts of stuff. You just don't hear a commentary. You've got to watch it for yourself and then make your own informed opinion. Huh. Wow. Informed opinion. Your own. Not relying on Sean Hannity. Not relying on George Stephanopoulos. Wow. Imagine that. So again, I like the Associated Press, the United Press, Reuters, C-SPAN, BBC. If you see something on Facebook that someone shared about the election, about President Biden, about former President Trump, and it comes up from the Rolling Stone, you can probably mark it that it's bullshit. Rolling Stone, I don't know what they're doing now. It used to be, well, they had John Lennon on the cover.
Yeah.
Now they got Michelle Obama on the cover. And did you hear about Michelle? Her name. Yeah, her name. Her name is being, and I know it's been up before. Everybody's like Michelle Obama. We've heard it before. But again, it's being kicked around as a potential candidate. The elections are a scant 2 years away.
Yeah, 2.5.
Man, my how time flies when you're having a good time.
Oh yeah, boy, it's great, isn't it?
Jeez. Michelle Obama. It's an interesting name. Women's vote. Black vote. Real interesting. We'll have to stay tuned. I haven't heard anything confirming anywhere. It's just rumor-mongering stuff. But, you can't trust, you can't trust mainstream media at all. And Facebook is mainstream media. It absolutely is. You go on there and I share stuff from sources. I usually share dog stuff and things like that. But just the other day I shared on my feed a story about J.J. Watt on Twitter. There was a girl in Texas whose grandfather or grandmother died, and she was selling her J.J. Watt shoes, her J.J. Watt shirt, and, her memorabilia. And J.J. Watt got on her Twitter feed and said, hey, don't sell your shit we'll pay for your grandpa's funeral, whoever it was. And I shared that, and a lot of people liked it. And I shared it, and it was from an ESPN source, and one of the people I hate. So, and I hate ESPN. How much is rest? I hate, if you have initials, bold letters on your news, I don't like you. that initial media is mainstream media. It's dividing us. It's conquering us. We have to rise up. You have to be informed, people. You know, don't get on Facebook and somebody posted a meme and a news story from brunch.com that, you know, Kamala is going to take over America and we're all going to have brunch all the time. I don't know. I'd like some brunch. I don't know, but we're going to go to the fair. Don't trust social media. And the people on it are worse than the news people. Have you seen some of the people, some of the stuff they say?
Well, of course.
Karens and Kyles. So, yeah, it's... Yeah. The local... We got some local stuff I want to cover before we get out of here. August 1st, the United... What is it? The Federal United Lutheran, I don't know,
United Methodist.
United Methodist. I was trying to throw in all the religions in there because you know how I feel about that too. So, but I figure, you know, we're not going to go on that road today. The United Methodist Church down in the downtown Great Falls has agreed, kowtowed, bowed to move all of the homeless out of their parking lot by August 1st, which begs the question, if they move just right across the alley, do we have the same, you know, and where are they going to go? And you know, I just, you know, the city just, I mean, you know, for those of you keeping track, Jesus Christ dealt just another blow by the city of Great Falls. For those of you keeping it score at home, it's 1-0 bottom of the 7th with Jesus coming up. So I asked the question before, who instituted the legal action against the church? The city of Great Falls. Who the fuck is paying for that? Is there a pro bono fund? Is there a stash put away for suing churches? I didn't like it. I didn't like it one bit. I didn't read it. I don't think the Bible says sue your nearest church. But I just wondered who was paying for this. I had a sneaking suspicion that eventually I did. You did, and listeners did, taxpayers did, and whether we agreed with it or not, that's the way that the city works. So, other news. What else happened this week? It's been noisier. I live over by CMO.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like in a flight pattern.
Mm-hmm.
I had a Thunderbird flying. They've been practicing, cruising around my house since Thursday. Today's Monday. They just quit yesterday. 4 days of these guys. Saturday, out at the deck. I look up, he's doing the flying, you know, really low. He's on his freaking phone in Facebook. I can see him. He's giving me the thumbs up. I can see the unleaded fuel only in the gas tank. My dog thinks they're giant birds. Flies through the yard trying to chase them and barking, just drives him crazy. So the air show was this weekend. We had a giant crowd. Real hot. Saturday. hot Sunday, hot. But, I've always wondered, though. Inflation's killing us, right? 9.1 at last we saw. It's probably
9.1, yeah.
probably 6 or 7 now. 9 point, and gas is what? Up through the roof.
Dropped a little bit.
And
But
still,
it's still ridiculous.
And
Oh,
still, in the middle of all of this, we need to buy jet fuel to have planes flying.
Yeah.
Not being unpatriotic at all. I'm just trying to put the, money's so tight, fuel's so tight. A suggestion from Pipewrench is maybe we could save a smidgen of money if we weren't doing air shows everywhere every weekend and burning up jet fuel like it's going out of style. Sure was cool watching them bastards fly over though, man. God, I don't even have to go up there.
Right.
I just put out a lawn chair, sit on the patio, and they're just like doing dips, wing dives, the smoke. It's pretty cool, man. It was really cool. It was really a neat adventure. So it's always nice having them right there in the backyard. It's like I live in a place where, fireworks and everything. It's just anything the city does, they do it in my backyard. It's like I don't get a dime. They don't pay me any money. They make me pay their legal fees.
Why haven't they moved an encampment back there in that empty field? That'd be good use of that field.
I'm thinking maybe that the guys from the church are going to be in my backyard because the city does everything else there. Air shows, fireworks displays. We have got approval to... We've got approval, it is, August 3rd. We've got to blaze into the Great Falls, Cascade County Expo Fairgrounds, whatever, hoop-de-doo, da-da-da-da-da-da. We're going to go into the fairgrounds, and we've got carte blanche to podcast. So we're going to podcast around the Midway, around the food places. We're going to be everywhere. So if you're out and about at the fair on August 3rd, you can look at Pipewrench and $50, get a picture of Pipewrench?
Sure, yeah.
$50.
Bargain at twice the price.
Oh, jeez. Just kidding.
It's like way better than them Las Vegas girls.
Yeah. Got better legs than all the Vegas girls. So, $50 is a steal. Jeez. Man, anything for $1. Inflation's killing me. I've got to sell my body on the Midway of the Great Falls Fair. State Fair. Our state fair is a great state fair. I don't know any of the words. It's a Roger and Hammerstein song. Doesn't that sound like a heavy metal band from Germany?
Yeah.
Except warming up for the band Rogers and Hammerstein.
Don't hammer my Stein, bro.
Yeah, pretty Steinway about it. We're also going to be at the 3rd. We'll be there later in the day. I'm going to be at Cheap Trick. So we'll get some pictures in Cheap Trick. We'll have them on the line next day or two after we do that. So, again, if you want to hang out in Pipewrench at the fair, and we'll be dropping in to some people that we know. So if you think it's cool and we're not going to bother you, we're going to bother you at the fair. Remember, this is the last week of the Bissell Empty the Shelters event. And that is Bissell as in the carpet cleaner vacuum company. They sponsor a national event. It is every summer. It is called the Bissell Empty the Shelters event, where they encourage you to get out and rescue, adopt, don't shop at your local shelter and empty the shelters. Basically, it's been going on for about a week and a half. Any adoptions through this event, you can go to the Great Falls Animal Shelter, and there's a kitty or a doggy waiting for you right now. So, I think that we got covered. Let's see now. Mainstream media sucks. Pipewrench is good. All right, we got that. Mainstream media divides. Pipewrench, not so much. ESPN sucks. ESPN, Mike, Pipewrench, no. January 6th, he incited a riot. Pipewrench doesn't do that. Social media divides. I crack jokes, post memes, post dogs, cat people hate me. I divide. Air show this weekend, loud. We've covered it, all the bases. Everybody, any questions from the audience? No, if you do. Nope, silence, of course. All right, are we done?
We're done.
We're done. Remember, the war in Ukraine is serious business. They're using a Z instead of a swastika. Putin is pissed. In New York, if they nuke you, you're supposed to go inside. I've been encouraging people to duck and cover. So, in New York style, learn to go inside. It doesn't make sense to me to duck and cover outside. Maybe the New Yorkers or something, it's like, I'm in the middle of a baseball field and they're nuking. I'll just sit down and cover up.
Well, there's a lot of insides to go into in New York, so.
There is.
Yeah, we got a lot more outsides to go out.
We have outsides here in Montana. I hear another bison. You hear that? Bison, another one. It's 4-0 bison versus tourist. 4-0. Pretty good. So until next week, thanks everybody. Remember to learn, duck, and cover. Kiss your dog. Have a great Monday. Till next week. Take care and love you, everybody.